Are you spending hundreds of dollars on premium fertilizers only to get disappointing harvests? What if a $30 investment in 10 forgotten ingredients could triple your yields permanently? Here is what the big gardening companies do not want you to know. Here is the soil science that civilizations understood thousands of years ago. Welcome to Nature's Lost Vault, where we uncover the ancient wisdom that modern agriculture tried to bury. Today, we are opening a vault that the fertilizer industry hoped would stay locked forever. If you are tired of disappointing harvests, despite doing everything right, this will change how you think about soil forever. In the next few minutes, you will discover 10 science-backed ingredients that our ancestors used instinctively. No expensive equipment, no complicated chemistry, just proven methods that transform dead soil into a living, productive ecosystem. Methods that have been deliberately obscured by an industry that profits from your repeated failures. But before we unlock these secrets, if you are serious about rediscovering the forgotten powers of the natural world and growing better plants without corporate dependency, hit that subscribe button. We are rebuilding the knowledge that time tried to bury. Here is what most gardeners get wrong. They think soil is just dirt, something that holds plants upright. But healthy soil is a living system. It has 4 critical components that must work together: structure, biology, chemistry, and physics. When even one of these breaks down, your plants suffer. You can water perfectly, provide ideal sunlight, and use those expensive fertilizers. But if your soil structure is compacted, if your biology is dead, if your pH is off, or your drainage is poor, nothing else matters. The fertilizer industry wants you focused on 3 letters: NPK. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those matter, but they are only 3 of the 17 essential nutrients plants need. And more importantly, if your soil structure is broken, your plants cannot even access those nutrients anyway. It is like having a full pantry, but a locked door. The 10 ingredients we are covering today fix the foundational problems that fertilizer cannot even touch. We're starting with the most powerful one, a secret that ancient Amazonian civilizations discovered over 2,000 years ago. A discovery so effective, their soil is still extraordinarily fertile today, centuries after they disappeared. We're talking about biochar. And no, this is not the same as charcoal from your grill. Biochar is created through a process called pyrolysis, where organic material is heated in a low oxygen environment. The result? A highly porous carbon structure that acts like a microscopic sponge. This is why the Amazonians considered it sacred knowledge. 1 gram of biochar has a surface area of up to 500 square meters. That's roughly the size of 2 tennis courts compressed into a tiny pinch of material. This massive surface area does 3 things at once. First, it provides a habitat for beneficial microbes. These microbes break down organic matter and make nutrients available to your plant's roots. Without biochar, these microbes have nowhere to live. They are homeless in your soil. Second, biochar holds water and nutrients in its porous structure, releasing them slowly over time. This prevents nutrients from washing away in heavy rain and reduces how often you need to water. It is a natural irrigation system at the molecular level. Third, biochar improves soil structure. It creates air pockets that prevent compaction. Your roots need oxygen just as much as they need water, and compacted soil suffocates them. The application is simple. Mix 10% biochar by volume into your top 6 inches of soil. For every 10 gallons of soil, add 1 gallon of biochar. You only need to do this once. Biochar lasts for decades, even centuries. Ancient Amazonian terra preta soils, enriched with biochar 2,000 years ago, are still incredibly fertile today. Archaeologists find these dark earth patches all through the Amazon, and they consistently outperform surrounding soils by massive margins. Cost? A 10-pound bag runs about $15 and covers roughly 40 square feet. That's pennies per square foot for a permanent soil improvement. Compare that to the fertilizer you buy every single season that just washes away. Our second secret is pure biology: mycorrhizal fungi. This is arguably the most overlooked secret in all of gardening. These microscopic fungi form partnerships with plant roots, partnerships that have existed for over 400 million years. Long before humans, long before dinosaurs, plants and fungi figured out cooperation. And modern industrial agriculture has spent the last century destroying this ancient alliance with chemicals and tilling. Here's what they do. These fungi attach to plant roots and extend tiny, thread-like filaments called hyphae into the soil. These filaments extend the root system's reach by up to 100 times, mining the soil for water and nutrients the plant could never access on its own. In exchange, the plant gives the fungi sugars from photosynthesis. It's a trade agreement. It predates our entire civilization. These fungi are specialists. They are experts at accessing phosphorus, which is notoriously locked up in soil. They also improve drought tolerance dramatically. Plants with these fungal partners can survive dry periods that would kill plants without them. They improve disease resistance and boost plant vigor in ways that look almost magical. But most agricultural soils have been stripped of these fungi through tilling and chemical use. Every time you till, you destroy this network. Every time you use certain fungicides, you kill these allies. The industry has convinced us to eliminate our best partners. Application is straightforward. Sprinkle the inoculant directly on roots when you plant, or water it in for established plants. Once established, the fungi colonize permanently, as long as you do not disturb the soil heavily. A $25 investment is enough for many, many plants. It is a one-time investment in a living system. Compare that to the perpetual treadmill of buying fertilizers that do not address the real problem. Your soil is biologically dead. Our third ingredient comes from the raw power of volcanoes. Azomite. The name says it all. A to Z of minerals, including trace elements. Azomite is volcanic ash, containing over 70 naturally occurring minerals. Volcanic eruptions are catastrophic, but they are also nature's way of remineralizing the earth. Ancient civilizations near volcanoes knew this. They knew that after the destruction came unprecedented fertility. The Romans specifically sought out volcanic soils for their most productive farms. These ultra-trace elements, selenium, molybdenum, cobalt, boron, are needed in tiny amounts. But their absence creates cascading problems. Problems that fertilizer companies tell you to solve by buying more of their products. They profit from treating symptoms instead of the cause. A boron deficiency, for example, causes hollow stems in broccoli and cracked fruit in tomatoes. Molybdenum is essential for legumes to fix nitrogen. Without it, your beans and peas cannot grow, even in nitrogen-rich soil. The power of azomite is its completeness. Azomite provides the full spectrum, balanced by nature millions of years ago. Application is easy, 5 to 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet, mixed into the top few inches. A 44-pound bag costs about $25 and can cover up to 4,000 square feet. That is less than a penny per square foot for complete, long-lasting mineral supplementation. It pairs perfectly with organic matter, which helps break down the minerals and makes them available even faster. This is the synergy ancient farmers understood, without needing a lab. The fourth is a living factory of nutrients. Worm castings. This is where biology meets chemistry in the most powerful way. Yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. earthworm manure. But calling it manure undersells its value dramatically. Charles Darwin spent the last years of his life studying earthworms. He concluded that no other animal has played such an important role in world history. That is not hyperbole. Darwin knew that civilizations rose and fell on soil health, and earthworms are soil's greatest architects. Worm castings are enriched with beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and growth hormones. The nutrient profile is impressive. 5 times more nitrogen, 7 times more phosphorus, and 11 times more potassium than ordinary soil. But the real power is not the NPK, it is the biology. Each gram of worm castings contains billions of beneficial microorganisms. These microbes continue working in your soil, breaking down organic matter, suppressing diseases, and forming symbiotic relationships with roots. These relationships improve nutrient uptake by up to 40%. Let that sink in. You can make your existing nutrients 40% more effective just by introducing the right biology. The fertilizer industry hates this because it reduces your dependence on them. Worm castings also contain humic acid, which improves soil structure. They are pH neutral, and they are impossible to over-apply. They will never burn your plants. For new beds, mix in 25% worm castings. For established beds, top dress with a half-inch layer each year. A 30-pound bag costs about $30. Or start your own worm bin for a $50 investment and produce them for free, forever. All right, we are halfway through. If you are still watching, it means you are serious about breaking free from corporate gardening dependency. The next ingredients complete the system. But first, if you are getting value from this, hit that like button. It tells us you want more of this forgotten knowledge uncovered. Next, let us fix the phosphorus problem with rock phosphate. Specifically, soft rock or colloidal phosphate. Unlike the fast-acting phosphorus in synthetic fertilizers that just leaches away, rock phosphate provides a slow-release source of phosphorus, plus calcium and trace minerals. Here is the dirty secret about phosphorus. You probably have plenty of it in your soil right now, but it is locked up, chemically bound in forms your plants cannot access. So, the industry sells you more fertilizer, which also gets locked up, creating an expensive, endless cycle. Rock phosphate works differently. It breaks down slowly, over 2 to 3 years, releasing phosphorus in forms that soil biology can unlock. Phosphorus is critical for roots, flowers, and fruit. Without it, plants are stunted and produce. Almost nothing changes, even if nitrogen is perfect. Apply 50 to 100 pounds per 1,000 square feet. You apply it once, and it works for years. A 50-pound bag costs about $20 to $25. It is incredibly economical. Our 6th ingredient is an ancient gift from the sea: Greensand. This is how we fix trace mineral deficiencies that NPK fertilizers completely ignore. Greensand is a natural mineral called glauconite, formed from ancient ocean deposits millions of years ago. It is rich in iron, potassium, magnesium, and more than 30 other trace minerals that plants cannot survive without. Here is the problem with modern fertilizers. They are incomplete. Plants also need micronutrients: iron for chlorophyll, magnesium for photosynthesis, zinc for growth hormones. Without these, you get yellowing leaves, stunted growth, and poor fruit, even when NPK levels are perfect. The Industry S solution is simple: buy more products. A bottle for iron, another for magnesium, another for zinc. They have turned soil health into a complex problem requiring dozens of expensive bottles. Greensand provides all of them in one ancient, natural deposit. It releases these minerals slowly, over several years, building long-term fertility. It also helps sandy soil hold moisture, and it helps clay soil drain better. Apply 50 to 100 pounds per 1,000 square feet. A 50-pound bag costs about $20 to $25 and lasts for 3 to 5 years. One critical note: greensand works best when your soil biology is active. The microbes help break it down. That is why combining greensand with biochar and mycorrhizal fungi creates an explosive synergy. Seventh, we harness the power of the ocean with kelp meal. This, an ocean-derived ingredient, is packed with over 60 trace minerals, natural growth hormones, and beneficial enzymes that synthetic fertilizers completely lack. For thousands of years, coastal communities used seaweed as fertilizer. They witnessed its almost magical effects. Irish farmers, Scottish crofters, Japanese farmers. Kelp meal contains natural growth hormones, cytokinins and auxins, that stimulate cell division, improve flowering, and boost plant vigor. Kelp also improves stress tolerance dramatically. Plants treated with kelp show increased resistance to drought, frost, pests, and diseases. It strengthens their cell walls and boosts their immune system. Application is simple: 1 to 2 pounds per 100 square feet annually. You can mix it into soil, top dress with it, or steep it in water to make a powerful liquid feed. A 4-pound bag costs about $20 and goes a long, long way. Our 8th ingredient is gypsum, or calcium sulfate. This one solves a problem most gardeners do not even know they have, but it is destroying their results. If you have heavy clay soil, you know the struggle. When it is dry, it is hard as concrete. When it is wet, it is sticky mud that suffocates roots. The problem is physical. Clay particles are flat and tiny. They stack together so tightly there is no space for air or water. Roots cannot penetrate. Water cannot drain. And no amount of fertilizer can fix this. This is where gypsum works its magic. The calcium in gypsum binds to the clay particles, forcing them to clump together. This process, called flocculation, creates space for air and water to flow freely. Soil that once cracked and pooled water becomes loose and workable. Your plant's roots can finally breathe and grow. Gypsum also provides critical calcium without raising your soil's pH. Many calcium sources, like lime, make soil too alkaline, which locks up other nutrients. Gypsum is pH neutral. Apply about 40 pounds per 1,000 square feet. A 40-pound bag costs around $12. It is one of the most cost-effective fixes in all of gardening. The 9th ingredient is the ultimate nutrient delivery system: humic acid. This is ancient, decomposed organic matter, millions of years old. It acts like a chelating agent. What does that mean? It means it unlocks minerals in your soil and makes them available to your plants. Think of humic acid as a nutrient delivery system. You might have minerals in your soil. You might be adding ingredients. But without humic acid, a significant portion remains locked up and unavailable. Humic acid is the key. It also dramatically improves water retention, holding moisture in the soil. It stimulates microbial activity, providing food and habitat, and it boosts root development, helping plants absorb more nutrients and water. It is a force multiplier. It supercharges every other ingredient you apply. Apply 5 to 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet. A 10-pound bag costs about $30, and it makes everything else you do more effective. And our 10th and final ingredient is the forgotten macronutrient: sulfur. Specifically, elemental or agricultural sulfur. This is the 4th most important plant nutrient, right after NPK. And yet, it is almost completely ignored in modern fertilizers. Sulfur is essential for protein synthesis, enzyme function, and chlorophyll. Without adequate sulfur, plants can't properly use nitrogen, even when it is abundant. This results in pale, weak growth that most gardeners mistake for a nitrogen deficiency. Sulfur also helps make iron, zinc, and manganese available, especially in high pH alkaline soils where they get locked up. If your leaves are yellow, the problem might not be a lack of nutrients, but a lack of sulfur to unlock them. It is a biological process, not a chemical quick fix. Sulfur feeds specific bacteria that create mild acids, further breaking down minerals. A 20-pound bag costs about $15. You are not adding more food, you are unlocking the food that is already there, trapped and unusable. You see? These 10 ingredients work together. They work synergistically. Biochar and mycorrhizal fungi provide the structure and the life. Gypsum, humic acid, and sulfur solve the physical and chemical problems. Greensand, azomite, kelp meal, and rock phosphate supply the complete mineral nutrition. And worm castings deliver the active biology that makes it all work. Together they address the 4 foundations of healthy soil: structure, chemistry, biology, and physics. And they cost a fraction of what most gardeners spend on fertilizers that only treat surface symptoms while the real problems get worse. So here is your action plan. Do not guess. Test. Start with a simple soil test to understand your baseline. Most county extension offices offer them for just $15 to $20. Once you know your soil type and what it is missing, you can prioritize. If you have clay soil, start with gypsum. If your soil is lifeless and compacted, biochar and mycorrhizal fungi are first. Seeing deficiency symptoms, add greensand, azomite, and kelp meal. If your pH is off, address it with sulfur. And for any situation, worm castings and humic acid provide the biology that makes everything else work better. Total investment. For a 1,000 square foot garden, it is $200 to $250. That is less than many gardeners spend on fertilizer in just 2 seasons. And these ingredients work for years, not weeks. This is a one-time investment that builds soil instead of degrading it. It creates independence, not dependency. It follows nature's blueprint instead of fighting against it. This approach flies in the face of what the gardening industry wants you to believe. They profit from selling you the same products over and over. They convince you that growing food is complicated and requires constant chemical intervention. They keep you dependent on their supply chain. But when you fix your soil's foundational problems, when you use materials that have existed for millions of years, you break that cycle. You will spend less, you will grow more, and you will build soil that actually gets better every single year instead of degrading. You reconnect with the wisdom that sustained human civilization long before corporations commodified agriculture. If this changed how you think about soil, hit that like button. Share it with someone who is struggling with disappointing harvests. Subscribe to Nature's Lost Vault for more forgotten knowledge that modern industry tried to bury. We are unlocking the secrets that time almost erased. The vault is open. The knowledge is yours. Now, go build the soil that will feed you for generations.